Hyperdrives repeatedly prove themselves to be the most reliably unreliable piece of technology in Star Wars, and for today's video we're going to take a closer look at the history of hyperspace travel in the early days of galactic civilization. We're going to look at the different types of hyperspace travel and its alternatives used by pre-Republic powers, as well as looking at how modern hyperspace travel arose. One species, the COLUMI, gained access to some form of hyperdrive technology more than 100,000 years before the Battle of Yavin, or even earlier. They observed many of the fledgling civilizations being built by other future members of the Republic, like the humans on what would become Coruscant and the Duros. The COLUMI were, unfortunately, disappointed in what they saw from the other species in the galaxy. Another species, the Gree, was active around the same time as the COLUMI, even establishing something of an empire over other species, though they never gave technology that the other species would have been able to make themselves. They also built a vessel, the Grey Secant, to explore the outer reaches of the galaxy. It was lost, but returned in the year 3940 BBY to take part in some side quests in an MMO. Tens of millennia before the Republic, many of these spacefaring species, by that point, came into contact with a mysterious and immensely powerful set of beings known as the Celestials. These Celestials, also known as the Architects, were believed responsible for the creation of some of the most prominent landmarks in the galaxy, like the Maw and Centerpoint Station. Contact with them had varying impacts on the denizens of the galaxy. The SHARU of the Rafa system, previously active in the galaxy, after making contact with the Celestials, returned to a forced primitive life on their own planets, according to both the Essential Guide to Warfare and the New Essential Chronology. The most interesting of the groups active at this time, though, were the Qua, who, from their homeworld of Dathomir, developed the Infinity Gates, not to be confused in any way with Stargates, they're legally distinct, allowing instantaneous travel between locations. Many of these species, along with several other less advanced ones, would become servants of the Celestials in their construction of things like Centerpoint and the Maw, and this was how some species ended up spread across the galaxy. Humans, for example, were moved from Coruscant to other worlds like Corellia by the Celestials and their slave species. This Celestial-ruled galactic order was disrupted by yet another species, the Rakata. The Rakata had been taken under the wing of the Qua and by extension the Celestials, and given access to the Infinity Gates as well as being taught about the Force by their Qua masters. Eventually, the Rakata revolted around the year 35,000 before the Battle of Yavin. Though they lost the use of the Infinity Gates, the Rakata had developed the first real precursors to modern hyperdrive technology on their own. They used the power of the Force to transition between real and hyperspace, though. They essentially used the life force on planets as beacons between the worlds, so they couldn't travel between specific places in real space, but they could travel between these giant balls of life force, essentially. Fueled by the dark side, the Rakata's infinite empire began to crumble under their own internal struggles, as well as slave revolts from the other species that they had helped spread across the galaxy. These species, most notably humans on Corellia and the Duros of Duro, managed to reverse engineer the Rakata force-powered technologies to make purely mechanical hyperdrives that they could use without having to master the Force. The Age of Rebellion sourcebook attributes this primarily to the Duros and indicates that under the Imperial period, the Corellians saw that contribution by the Duros as a threat to their own galactic status and reputation as explorers, thereby being a threat to human supremacy as well in the period more broadly. Whichever species claimed credit for these discoveries, the tech would gradually spread throughout the galaxy, giving rise to various groups like the Hutts and the Tianese having thrown off control of the Rakata, and eventually led to the formation of the Republic when various groups who had thrown off Rakata control came together. There were plenty of other wars along the way, though. If you've enjoyed today's video or have any suggestions for future videos, like if you want to learn more about this period or any other specific period in Star Wars history, let me know in the comments. Consider leaving a like or subscribing for more as well. I also host a Star Wars book podcast with my friend and other better YouTuber Eckhart's Ladder, the next episode of which is live streaming here on Thursday, March 12th, talking about Jedi Academy, Jedi Search by Kevin Anderson if you'd like to check that out. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.